So it's
1 week since you looked at me.
it's been 1 week.
Whatever.
5 days since the rug burns in both my knees.
What
the hell did you do?
What song is that?
1 Week by Bare Naked Ladies. Ah, shit. Copyright.
Who?
What? Ladies that were unclothed from a northern country.
The polar nude females.
There you go. So, it's been a long time.
What happened to your hair?
Don't fucking bust it. Really, leave my gray hair alone, dude. Asshole.
Oh, your gray hair. I already knew that.
Oh,
everyone knew that.
If I shave it, it's not as prominent.
You should shave your head. You might shrink it a little bit.
Shut up, Putin. You can be banned from America. This podcast right now is America. Speaking of America.
Happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday to pre-birthday.
Well, no, by the time this goes out, it'll be happy birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday, America. You are well over a couple hundred years old.
You're like 20 or something now.
Old enough to breed. Way to go, America.
Jeez.
We only had, thanks to you breeding, we had Central America, South America. Fuck. Eventually we're going to have Europe, or Eastern Europe, America.
America. What were you going to say now?
Two things. One, it's been a long fucking time since I went like jumping off shit into deep pools of water. I've got pressure in my face. I was like,
I hit rocks.
No, I didn't hit rocks. I did the rope swing.
I'm going to dive. Water's over here.
I did the rope swing.
And it's the same rope from 1998.
No, it's skinnier.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
New technology. Right?
And I'm telling you right now, dude, I had such an old man father moment up there. I'm holding the rope. I'm like, just go, you pussy. Just go. I'm like, what if the rope breaks? What if the ground slips? What if I hit the rocks?
You're not alone.
I could be out of work for weeks if I get fucked up.
You're not alone, because when I took my daughter up there last week and she was running across the rocks, I'm like, ma'am, don't run. There's slime right there. But then at the same time, thinking of back when I was younger, just like
we used to
parkour.
We used to run let's see you slide further.
We'd run like down those falls. We'd run down those falls the entire way. Like, what was it, a quarter mile? Probably half a mile from Wintergreen down to Snake Hole. And we get there in like 10 minutes.
Oh, God. But
then I'm like, oh, wait, careful. Oh,
and then, of course, I'm walking up to the ledge to jump off. I'm like, ow, fuck. God, I need a broom and a dustpan.
Where's the vacuum?
All I could think of was, if I could just sweep the Legos to one side of the room, I'll be fine. But it was a blast. Me and Pooh over here, we did some jumps together. It was definitely cool. Kind of brought me back. I was like, at the first jump, I remember the first time I ever jumped from there. I'm like, I can't do it. Oh, I'm nervous. I didn't know.
I don't know if I jumped from the Devil's Hole first or the falls.
I jumped from Devil's Hole first. Then I went up to
I
the
probably
falls.
did too, but I can't, because I didn't really go. The Devil's Hole just never appealed to me when I was younger. Just didn't care, because by that time, like, I lived right down there, so
yeah,
I'd always go to the falls.
Yeah,
like everyone was always at the falls, like. So every time I go down that path, I just veer right or veer left and just keep going.
See, but that's just it. I didn't know about the falls until we ran from the cops from Devil's Hole. Because if you remember back then, Devil's Hole was even illegal.
Well, back then, none of it was. Well,
back then it was, did you catch the cop in a good mood?
It wasn't even that. No one did anything until we had like a string of injuries and deaths in like a 5-year span.
Yeah.
And then everyone was like...
I was around for that.
Well, the village was like, all right, maybe it's a bad idea.
Now it's a swim at your own risk. Except for
the
falls.
Like,
the falls
are fucking stupid. Go ahead.
The falls are still illegal.
Oh, are they?
Like 100%.
Jumping off them? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's like 75-foot drop.
It's fun.
It is fun. It's a blast. I've never done it.
Neither have I. I don't know what cocaine tastes like.
I just thinking about.
I remember what it smells like though.
Thinking about going. I'm like, wow, that would be exhilarating. Never done it.
And then number 2. How is America? I finally watched Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness.
It was good.
I thought the name choice. I've never read the graphic novels or the comic books of
That's
Doctor
Rich.
Strange.
That's Rich is the person to ask for.
I was a little. I caught it. America Chavez is the girl's name. I'm
Yeah.
like, I hope they didn't pick that for the movie. I hope that was actually in the comics. And then a couple times, is America okay? Yeah, America's fine.
Yeah.
Of all times for that movie to drop.
Yeah. And it's Kevin Feige, so you know, like
Sam Raimi directed it though.
there had to have been someone there to be like, wah.
Sam Raimi directed it.
Yeah,
And what about, of course, Sam Raimi directed it. So I saw that in the beginning. I heard about Sam Raimi. I'm like, I wonder. Zombie Strange?
Yeah.
That was cool.
I
don't even want to know. I saw it
I
coming.
was hoping they'd go further with it because that was just kind of a tip of the hat to the whole zombie
And Bruce Campbell.
X-Men. Yeah, I saw him in it. Of course he was in it. Like,
Fuck
Sam
yeah,
Raimi's in it.
Sam
Of
Raimi.
course Bruce Campbell's going to be in it. And that, to me, that made the movie.
Yes.
Like, I love Doctor Strange. I was really anticipating Multiverse of Madness. But when I saw Bruce Campbell, I was like, that was a pop for me. I was like,
Yup. As soon as
So that moreover, in that universe then, in the Bruce Campbell Sam Raimi universe, that wasn't a zombie Strange. That was a Deadite Strange.
Deadite, correct.
So
correct.
there's a crossover for everyone. Deadites
In the
and Marvel.
MCU.
Yeah. Deadites are now in the MCU. Will we get a crossover of Ash?
Oh!
Where is that meme? Where's the portal opening up? We got to go back in time now to Endgame where Ash comes out of that portal. Damn it.
Avengers, assemble!
Groovy.
Fistful of boomstick. He walks up during the whole scene. So Thanos point with his sword. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Bruce Campbell, Ash.
Wow, that was...
Shop smart. Smart.
The whole 20-minute fight scene between the two armies just gets completely obliterated.
Yeah, they're like,
this is one of the time.
What do we do now?
This is one of the time lines that didn't happen.
Yeah. Which I liked the concept. I really can't wait for the next.
They kind of rewrote that, if I remember correctly, in Doctor Strange. They said, I think, I can't remember exactly when or what was said, but I remember sitting on the chair watching it and thinking, wait, but Doctor Strange said there was a 1 in, like, what was it, like 40 some million or billion or whatever chance of them winning against Thanos.
Yeah.
During Infinity War.
Yep.
And they brought that up in the movie, but they kind of alluded to something, and I remember thinking, so does that mean there was more than one chance of them winning or beating? Oh, because the X-Men, they showed the X-Men, and they showed the timeline of, or not the X-Men, the Illuminati beating Thanos, and that was not the one in however many. And I remember sitting there like, did they just rewrite Endgame or basically retcon it so there was more than one time Thanos lost?
Yeah,
which completely erases Endgame.
Yep.
Which means
I caught that.
Yeah, I remember sitting there seeing that. I'm like, wait a minute.
And what'd you think about Captain Britain?
Oh yeah, that was in the cartoons there, the short series where they had the on Disney. What If, the What If series.
I haven't watched those yet.
The zombie Avengers, that whole thing, they were in there. That what you're talking about, that was in there. Supreme Doctor Strange Supreme was in there when he's evil. That was in there. Like there's a really
you
good.
See him in that movie too. Yep.
Yeah, they're really good. They're in those cartoon shorts, and
Yeah.
it kind of, I guess they give you hints of directions they're possibly going now.
Yeah, but that's just it. I got thinking about it. I'm like, wow. With Multiverse of Madness, add that to all the stuff I actually realized I haven't seen of the MCU.
It was
like,
good.
There's a lot.
Yeah, it was good.
They could do.
I wasn't sure. I think I have to watch it again. I think I hyped it up so much in my mind that it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Not that it was bad by any means, but I think I was expecting way more because I'm thinking Multiverse of Madness. But then again, Marvel's not going to throw all everything in one basket and then give it to you. And this is going to build up to something big, which was I was thinking for this. I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna get everything. We get fucking Avengers, and they're all dicks and everything running around. But no. And they're just like the Spider-Man movie. They just give you a little bit, and Multiverse Madness give you a little bit. It was a cute attempt at their horror genre, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was Disney horror.
Deadpool 3, and they're keeping it R-rated.
I did hear that. Yeah.
But now you've got the X-Men, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man's always been in and out of the MCU with Warner Brothers MCU. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They've got
Ghost Rider.
Yep.
I don't know if I'd like to see them do well by Ghost Rider, because Nicolas Cage is Ghost Rider. Oh, not the bees!
It wasn't
good. No, it wasn't
bad.
It wasn't good either.
It's like when you like. You remember Beer Fest?
Yeah, I saw it once. This is one of those movies you watch once and you never watch it again.
Remember the part where the guy Barry Badgenath?
That I'd not.
He's the Indian dude.
That was like
in the group
2012 or.
Remember, he's the one. I guess I'm better when I'm drunk. He's the one during the one scene. He's dancing with the hot chick. He's all wasted. Wakes up the next morning next to Monique, the big black girl.
I can't remember. Maybe I do remember that.
It's like that.
How long ago was that movie?
A long time ago.
That must have been like 10, 15 years anyway.
About 15.
I think it was like, that sounds like a 2007-8 movie.
Yeah. And, well, that's what it's like. That's what Ghost Rider was like. You went into the movie theater, all hyped up, and then you wake up after the movie.
Massive regrets the next morning?
Pretty much.
Oh, but it was good.
It was good in the moment. Actually.
Sex and murder are a lot alike.
Do you remember the Man Show?
Or at least you say the same thing after both. Oh, damn, I got to get the hell out of here. What was I thinking?
Who was the other guy? There was Joe Rogan and the other guy, the original Man Show, the first one.
It was Doug Stanhope.
Yep, and Joe Rogan.
No, Joe Rogan. Was it? No, it was Jimmy Kimmel, wasn't it?
No.
He was a replacement?
Jimmy Kimmel and the other guy were the second people to come in.
It was Joe
Rogan. And I think you're right.
Doug Stanhope.
Yes.
He was
he's a skinny guy.
The original.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel. All right, he was after. I think Doug Stanhope left and Jimmy Kimmel came on with Joe Rogan, didn't he?
Maybe.
And then after that, I can't remember.
I don't remember. It's been a long time. Ziggy zaggy, oi, oi, oi.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember them saying, I remember Doug Stanhope. I remember Doug Stanhope saying, sex is like, it's like you love that person. Like, definitely. Eddie, you want to do anything for them. And then after you've done the deed, all you feel is shame. Like, you want nothing more than for a bus to hit that fucker and get him out of your life.
So, do you need money for a cab?
Yellow or checks? What? I want to know what cab to call for you in the morning. Oh, God.
Do you cash for Uber? No? I suppose I can
Venmo you.
Yeah.
Do you have Cash App?
Venmo or PayPal?
What the hell is fucking Google Pay? Yeah, but that's it. That's it, man. It was an interesting day. And then, of course, I did the rope swing.
You told me that.
Yeah, I didn't tell you about what. Oh, God. I forgot how much effort went into just swinging.
Spoken like a true truck driver.
I'm up there like,
I gotta hold on. I can't hold on.
Do I swing out? Do I tuck my legs up? I'm sitting there like my arms are tense the whole time. So by the time I finally said, all right, screw it, I'm going. No, not yet. I went under. I came up a minute later and I'm like, my arms are on fire.
I can't swing my arms.
Why is
my arms?
How much effort did this require? When I was 16 to 25, this was like I could beat off 10 times, go do the 10 flips off the rope swing, and then run a marathon after and be like, what am I doing next? Now I woke up, had a cup of coffee, cleaned my house, jumped on the rope swing, I need a nap.
It's probably the same thing that all the kids in Epstein's Island thought. Speaking of which...
Epstein Island.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
Sentenced to 20 years.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Only 20 years.
And
You,
well, I mentioned this last week. Remember?
keep going. She's sentenced to 20 years and put on suicide watch. That's the thing that was new this week. She was put on suicide watch this week, but she's not suicidal, which kind of alludes to what?
Well, she's gonna get killed.
It's going to be another Christmas ornament. This ornament didn't hang itself.
Wow.
Look it up on Amazon. There's a multitude of them.
Legit Amazon ornaments.
Yeah.
Of people.
Amazon of Epstein, and it says this ornament didn't hang itself. So, judging by what I've read this week, Ghislaine Maxwell will be another ornament.
She did.
But yeah, she's not suicidal and she's put on suicide watch.
Well, and here's, speaking of Maxwell, isn't it peculiar how you hear about TikTok's under investigation?
With maybe
Pedophilia sort of general area of investigation.
I want to say I read something like that somewhere, but I
There,
might be mixing two different stories up in my head.
there is an investigation going on, and TikTok put out a statement. Look, we've all we really cared about is the safety of our community. We want it to be a safe and easy and fun
Bullshit!
platform,
It's China data mining us.
platform
Everyone
for
fucking
people to
knows that.
enjoy and express themselves on.
Okay,
But apparently,
it's PR.
there is some data mining going on,
Of course there is.
and I guess there may be some correlation with sex trafficking, pedophilia, drugs, crime. There is some stuff.
You don't really believe that, do you? I don't really
I'm
believe
hearing
that.
voices.
It's probably the TikTok pedophilia ring.
We're gonna rape you, Charlie. What? I'm older. Is it?
I
I got a question for you.
Come on.
Is it considered an act of pedophilia if you pass out drunk and a 16-year-old boy takes advantage of you?
Why are you drunk around a 16-year-old boy?
What if you had a hard day at work and decided to down a fifth of tequila and some 16-year-old boys walking by your house and sees an open door?
This is a really, really stretch of a scenario. This is like an Eminem. What happened? You tripped, fell on his dick?
No, all right. But
The fuck are you talking about?
So they are literally like
just asking for a friend.
they're trying to push TikTok
Off a cliff?
into releasing all of the names and information, and they've got all of the
Oh, good fucking luck.
and all the names and information of people involved with it. They're releasing names.
It took Oh, they are. I was gonna say it took Elon Musk purchasing Twitter
not
for
of
them to
people
get that.
violating on TikTok, of people on TikTok allowing the data mining to go on. They're releasing names of people that work for TikTok.
I see.
Here's the fucked up part.
Right.
They're going to release those names, but they're not going to release the names from the Maxwell case.
Funny you say that, because I don't have a list of the Maxwell trial, like any names in that, because that obviously has not been.
Oh,
shown.
yeah, no.
But
You're
what
not
I
gonna
do
get names
have,
of high-profile politicians, government officials, celebrities.
what I do have is a list of names that have been to Epstein Island, and it's quite a list, buddy. Quite a list. It is. I'll just read. I'm not going to go through every one because there's a
Time
ton.
out. Calling for you. I just heard DAD from upstairs.
I heard Mama because she's home.
You have to edit that. Sorry. Epstein Island visitors.
Yes. Anyway,
Richard Nixon?
I don't know if it goes back that far, but I have
Imagine if it did.
I have a list.
I brought Epstein to the island.
Yeah.
That explains it.
I'm not gonna. I sold it to him. I'm not gonna list all of them, but Woody Allen, Bill Hammond, Bill Murray, Lisa Summers, Larry Summers, Chris Tucker, Virginia Roberts, Mandy Ellison, Linda Pinto, Ralph Ellison, Mark Epstein, Paul Epstein, Casey Wasserman, Naomi Campbell, Rodney Slater.
Naomi Campbell? Like Scream?
Yes.
I bet she's
Ellen
screamed.
Spencer, Chris Wagner, I think I already said that. Ed Tuttle, Steve Colbert, Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg, James Gunn, Seth Green, Mark Lloyd, Cindy Lopez, Hank Collar, Karen Casey, Adam Perry Lang, Barack Obama, Jimmy Kimmel, Kevin Spacey, big surprise. Oprah
You mean
Winfrey.
Kevin Grabby?
Oprah Winfrey, Ben Affleck, Will Ferrell, Marshall Mathers. I wonder if that was supposed to be Marshall Mathers.
Yeah, probably.
Jeffrey Jones. Charlie Sheen.
Well, hold on. Pause for one quick second.
Go ahead.
Let's just clear something up. This is just a list of people who
Have
visited
been to the island.
Epstein Island. That's not to say they were there when anything took place.
No, it's not. It's not incriminating against them. But it sure doesn't.
It doesn't make it look good either.
No.
But you have to remember too, Epstein was a prolific, liaison.
Putin, can you shut that? Shut it.
Say da. Don't say anything.
There you go.
Anything you say is incriminating. Shut up, Putin.
No, so
what I'm saying is he was more of like a liaison. Like he threw parties and got socialites together.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just clarifying it for the folks at home because you just dropped in that list you dropped was probably a good 10 A-list celebrities.
Yeah.
And
James Franco, Will Smith, Justin Roiland, John Cusack, Demi Moore, Anderson Cooper. So basically,
Alice Cooper was there?
Yeah.
Schools.
Wanda Sykes,
Go
Meryl
to
Streep,
the island.
Courtney Love, Quentin Tarantino, Pharrell Williams, Alec Baldwin, Robert Downey Jr.
Boy, yeah, but he got there in one shot.
Disney Corporation, in parentheses, offering kids scuba diving trips to the Epstein Island. And Bill Clinton, of course, all the Clintons.
Alec Baldwin.
Chelsea. And
he only had one shot. He did not miss his chance to blow.
boy, he's just not doing a good job in life at all. If he ends up being, oh, you're on the Epstein list too. It's like,
Listen, I had one shot. This opportunity.
so basically, no, you're right. That doesn't incriminate all of them, but this is basically the idea. Before you had who's going to be on the list, and let's take just a whole group of people, and could be anyone sprinkled in that. But now with this list, who's going to be on the list? Then you just shrink that huge group down to well, these are the people that have been there. So who in that group is guilty of the mystery people on the Ghislaine Maxwell?
But that's just it. The entire list. You have the entire list. Of people
I don't even have the entire list. I'm sure. No.
So what the point I was making, because the folks at home, we don't want to catch any backlash for talking trash and pointing fingers, insinuating that Alec Baldwin was shooting more than a loaded pistol there with minors. That's where he met his producer. Sorry, Alec. Cheap shots, unlike yours, an expensive one. There's another one. Got him. No, Epstein Island originally was kind of like a basis of, hey, let's all go hang out there with media outlets and social celebrities and shit like that. And then when you peeled off the Band-Aid and removed the AIDS,
and then it took one person to go
scrubbed away.
You guys ever fuck a kid? And then the whole door opened up, and Epstein Island came to an adult Disney World.
The never-ending story.
I just watched that yesterday.
Was that?
I just watched that yesterday.
The first one, awesome. Second one, fuck you, Abomination.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday. Anyway, that was a never-ending story.
What was the horse's name again? Arfax?
Arfax. It sounds like a
Carfax?
still right out of my mouth.
Hold on, I got this.
Artax or
Horses.
I know the dragon, the good luck dragon's Falcor.
From the never-ending story. Look at that. Artax.
Artax, okay. Interesting. Oh,
Atreyu was the boy's name.
Yep.
I don't give a fuck who you are. I want you to admit on camera that tugged on heartstring when Artax died.
I think it didn't tug on heartstrings. That was fucking traumatizing.
Okay, that counts.
That was like tugging on heartstrings. Like, oh, that's sad. Watching a horse when you're like what 5, you're watching a horse. Like, is he gonna get out? And then it didn't show it. And there's just cuts. And there's like this, like when you throw a rock in like mud and then it clears out, so it's just dirt water. And then you just see that where the horse was, and Atreyu was there, like all somber and solemn, and you're like, oh my God. You just saw that. That was that. And that's where PETA came from.
I need to go to confession.
That's where PETA came
Father
from.
McNeely's there. I don't want to go. I have not sinned. But yeah.
Oh, no.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I smell asparagus. Put your nipple away. Get demonetized for nudity.
That's right. I just like to listen. As long as it's
Whoa!
on, as long
I
as it's
realized this a long time ago, but I'm gonna make a big deal of it now. Where's my handlebars? Oh, put it back on.
Actually, I got a funny story to tell you after the show.
Sorry, folks at home. This one's just for me and Putin. The camera, I'm pointing that way, but I'm confused. Putin's over there.
My co-host.
Fuck you. You found my replacement. She's much more adorable than me anyway. And much more user-friendly. Or family-friendly. Family-friendly. Fuck off.
What? You're on a roll today.
Fuck you. Speaking of which...
16-year-olds and... Want to keep going?
Yeah, I was watching Van Oz Gaming earlier. And Nogla said something. He goes...
I haven't watched that in years.
I didn't mean to there.
Jeez.
Yeah. SNIGGER.
Right.
The textbook definition. I'm going to bring it back up.
I'm going to bring it back up, so he's looked it up
Definition of laugh in a half-suppressed, typically scornful way. Now, for the folks at home who want to know how to pronounce this,
programmed his phone to do that. He's really a closet racist.
they ragged. Who was it? It was it was Wildcat.
H2O and Vanos.
Yeah, it was Wildcat, Delirious, Vanos, and Nogla. And as soon as Nogla said it, Evans or Vanos started laughing. He was like, "Why? It's a fucking word. What word was that? I'm not going to say it again. I'll snicker. That was a better. That's not a word. That's a food. Say it again." And then they actually. And here's the best part. You're gonna have to bleep it out because even on YouTube they bleeped it out on their video.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Good to know.
So bleep that if you can, so we don't get banned.
We're like 30 minutes in, something like that.
Oh,
My co-host. Going all the way back.
yeah, Epstein Island.
R. Kelly got 30 years.
Yeah.
For roughly the same thing.
Oh,
well,
dude.
not... no. Here's the thing. He didn't... He was... I think he got charged
Am I
with...
in a fucking time warp or something?
I think he got charged...
A lot of the same charges.
Yeah.
Except he also got like traffic racketeering
That's
or
it. It was racketeering.
trafficking. There was a few other things he got
It
in
wasn't-
on top of it.
Was it grooming, though? Was
no,
grooming part?
he
No.
did not get grooming in there.
Which is funny. He got trafficking and racketeering, but Maxwell got 10 years less. I guess they were pushing for like 55 to 70 years or something like that for her. And then they originally said it was going to be,
And her
they
lawyers,
wanted, the defense wanted 5 years.
oh yeah, because her lawyers are probably going to say, "Well, we're going to release a list. Okay, we'll take him 55 to 20." Dude, I feel like I'm in a time fucking warp. I could have swore we said something about this last
No,
episode.
we talked about it.
And I said exactly what you're saying.
No, not during the show. We talked about it during the week.
Oh.
No, because during the show, it was just the sentencing, but then the suicide watch wasn't a thing until this week. And then the R. Kelly thing was like last Sunday or Monday that came out.
Yeah.
I think it was Monday. And then going on with this whole thing even further, SCOTUS approved Ron DeSantis' request to investigate human sex trafficking in Florida. Because Disneyland or Disney World. But yeah, so now they're going to investigate.
You mean MapCon?
Well,
I forgot. People call it Disneyland still.
well, Disneyland's in California. And that's
Disney
a whole
World.
other beast.
Disney World, sorry. Yeah.
It's a whole other beast out in California.
That's Pedfest.
Gosh, what that is out
I'm
there.
gonna call them random names.
That's
The pressure is releasing. Every time I feel like I can cough up phlegm and clear my nose, it's the pressure's releasing. I also had a lot of pressure in my colon. It was really weird.
I'm sure that's what they say down in Disney World too.
Every time I went underwater, my ass hurt a little bit more.
It's a weird time we live in now.
Underwater snake monsters violating butts.
So all the riots happen.
Yep.
The Roe v. Wade thing,
Yep.
which was pretty much as predicted. Figured that was going to happen.
It's funny.
Wasn't-
I think we made a comment last episode about it's funny that it only took Roe v. Wade being overturned for people to identify what an actual woman is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is, and I got a list of like just some of the double standards or hypocrisies or whatever that the left, the weird stances they take on things, and that being one of them is we spent how long before this? I mean, even Matt Walsh has a documentary out, What is a Woman?
What is a woman? Yep.
And no one can give, at least from the left, no one can give a straight answer of what a woman is. And then the actual overturning of Roe v. Wade, which again, I think beyond the abortion thing is a good thing, because then it takes power away from federal government, overstepping their reach and giving it back to states so people have power over their decision. Past that, now, all of a sudden, everyone on the left, well, now we know what a woman is.
Hold on real quick. In regards to the taking the power away from the federal government.
Right.
I'll find the article again. But apparently there was a double standard in this overturn. The federal government...
Enlighten me.
I'll have to find the article. I read it quick, and unfortunately it was one of those ones that when I reset, my phone was acting funky. I reset my phone. I forgot to save the tab. But there was a double standard in this overturn. The federal government, if I remember reading correctly, like I said, I just skimmed it. So folks at home, help us out if you can. You do your research. I'll try to do some more research. And you just made me think about it now. That's why I forgot about it till just this moment. The federal government kind of took a back burner, I guess you could say. They took the back seat. We're not going to drive the car anymore. We're just going to sit in the back seat and tell you where to go. The government actually didn't relinquish its ability to determine abortion laws state by state. They are just giving the states the ability to come up with their own rules and regulations, because there are states that are trying to propose banning contraceptives. Even in the rape situation, they're trying to ban abortion, so no matter what. They're also trying to put in statutes where, or bylaws where, if you go to another state and have the abortion done, then come back, you can actually be charged with a felony crime. They're trying. There's talk of states trying to go to that extreme.
I know all that.
And the government's like, this is where the government with the double standard. No, too extreme. We're not going to let you do that. Try again.
I haven't heard anything like that.
I'll find the article. Apparently, it was an overturn. We'll overturn it, but we also still have a little bit of say in what goes on.
That's the first I've heard that at all.
I'll research it. Like I said, I'll have to find the article.
Now I'm interested. But because that would still be an unconstitutional law then. Unless they're trying to find other ways to stop, like, not abortion, but if somebody, this is a question that I actually had, if someone goes to another state to do something, comes back when it was legal in that state but not in the next, I don't understand how a state, seeing as Texas is doing this, how a state could
Sorry.
How a state could say that's illegal over there or over here, not over there, and you're going somewhere else to do it. That would be like the United States saying it's legal in Amsterdam to do whatever kind of drug you want, and then you go there, do it, and come back here and then get arrested. See, I don't understand how that doesn't work. So when Texas and whatever does that, and like say you're in Texas, you want to get an abortion, you go to New York, California, wherever, and then go back to Texas. That's one where I heard they were like, well, we're going to arrest you when you come back. I'm like, I don't think that works that way, though. In that aspect, maybe.
Your partner in procreation went to ASH.
Okay.
But yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's where like the federal government's like, okay, sorry, can't do that. It's unconstitutional, or it's a violation of HIPAA, or whatever. That's where the government's like, we're going to overturn it, but if it gets to be too extreme, because there's also, there have been states that have been like, oh, good, now we're going to have, do you remember how we talked about post-delivery abortions?
Right.
That's where the government's going to be able to come in and say, no, too extreme.
That was... Again, I think the post-delivery abortion, that goes into euthanasia and just straight-up murder, manslaughter anyway.
And that's
at
where,
the very least.
That's where this double standard comes into play.
But that has nothing to do with abortion, because then you go past abortion into manslaughter. Like, again, at the very least. That's something else. When it comes to abortion, that's for, like, pre-delivery from conception, depending on the state you're in, 6 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever.
Well, let me ask you
that's,
this.
again, that has nothing to do with abortion. That's just the government saying you can't charge someone for breaking a law in your state if they're somewhere else doing it.
Exactly.
It doesn't work that. And now, unless they're bringing like contraband or something.
And that's a good thing then. If you ask me, that was a smart move on the government.
But again, that has nothing to do with abortion. That's something completely different.
Regardless, the reason I bring this up, like, this is actually a good thing if you ask me.
Right.
If they hold that power, is because how many times have you heard of, like, women having to carry to full term with a deceased child? The baby passes.
Having to? I don't know, but I also haven't researched it. So.
It happens much more commonly than you would expect, where a fetus will pass within the womb 5, 6, 7, 8 months into the pregnancy.
Right.
And they have
yes. And they have to carry full term. Yeah, right.
They have to birth a postmortem. I guess, what's the word?
I don't know.
They have to deliver a dead baby.
That sounds about right.
Unfortunately, it's
right.
It's as cold as this.
Well, it's not cold. What's your other option? Leave it in there?
An abortion.
Because
how many?
Yeah, to abort.
If you look at the statistics,
that would be abort a pregnancy.
If you look at the statistics, it's actually a little bit more. It's a little creepy as to how high the suicide rate is for women who go through that emotional trauma.
I actually have. It's
discouraging. It's saddening.
This is from Guttermacher Institute, which is a primary source for research and policy analysis on abortion in the United States. These are numbers for not posts for the mother, but reasons for abortion. And actually, these kind of surprised me when I read them, because I didn't think it was this extreme. For the pregnancy resulting from incestual relationship is 0.001%. And mind you, this is kind of a left-leaning, it's a pro-choice institute. Oh yeah, it says right there. So they're very left-leaning when it comes to abortion. 0.065%, the woman's life was endangered by the pregnancy. The reason for the woman was raped. 0.085% of abortions. For the woman's physical health was threatened by the pregnancy. 0.288%. The woman's physiological health was threatened by the pregnancy. 0.294%. There was a serious fetal abnormality. 0.666%. The woman aborted for social or economic reasons. 6.268%. And no reason or elective reasoning being 92.330%.
Hold on, I just thought of something.
I read all those numbers off. Or when I looked into it, 'cause
Okay. So here's another problem I'm having with the whole banning abortions. Do you know what an ectopic pregnancy is?
that's not an abortion. To get rid of it, that's not an abortion.
Do you know how it goes, though?
Yes, but to get rid of it, that's not an abortion. Medically, it's not an, look it up. It's not an abortion. That's been talked about by a lot of what are they called?
Miscarriage?
No. The doctors in that actually deliver. Oh God, I can't remember. But that's an actual medical procedure that's not considered an abortion. So that's not even factored in. This is from the Guttermock Institute. This is
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
yeah.
Treatment is usually needed to remove the pregnancy.
That's not even factored in with the abortion case. I mean, if you ask just people on the street shouting and yelling, of course they'll name drop that. But medically speaking, that's not in the conversation of abortion because it's something else. That would be like you passing a kidney stone. Oh, it's an abortion. No.
Well, technically, the removal of any foreign object is considered. You are aborting a
pregnancy. Because we were talking about aborting pregnancies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
well, now you want to do that. Now we can abort, I'm on a mission to do something. I'm aborting it.
You can abort a tumor.
Now we're just throwing in a bunch of garbage
because I'm confused. I guess I never really realized there was a different. I'm not saying. Hold on.
I know what you're saying.
I'm not. Well, I'm not saying it no, it is an abortion. No, I always thought it fell under the guidelines of aborting a pregnancy.
So did I.
Because you can choose to try to carry.
That would kill the mother. Yeah, that would be one of those rare instances.
No, 1 in every 50 women, 6 to 20%.
No, well, it's, according to this institute again, it's 0.288%. Women's physical health was threatened by the life, 0.065%. Woman's life was endangered by the pregnancy, which would be an ectopic pregnancy, because that could actually kill a woman carrying.
1 in every 50 pregnancies in the U.S. is an ectopic
I feel like we have to have a woman or two in here to discuss this.
Between 6% to 16% of pregnant women who go to an emergency department in the first trimester for bleeding, or for bleeding, pain, or both, have an ectopic pregnancy. So 6 to 16% of women who go to the hospital for pain or bleeding during a pregnancy, it's an ectopic pregnancy. That's a little bit more of an extreme number than 0.2%.
But again, that's not an abortion. These are reasons for abortion. That is a different procedure. See, now you're talking about a medical procedure for something that's not an abortion.
So, I'm confused then. I'm genuinely confused. I'm not arguing. I'm genuinely confused. How does that... Maybe you can research it a little bit.
I wish I knew we were going to get into this conversation, because then it would...
Well, no, because now I'm trying to learn. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just, like I said,
I know, but I could actually just spit a whole bunch of.
I always thought an ectopic pregnancy determination of an ectopic pregnancy, because an abortion is a medical procedure. Whatever the woman's choice may be to abort the child, the fetus, the embryo, whatever you folks don't want to call it. An ectopic pregnancy, I always felt the decision to terminate the pregnancy fell under that guideline of an abortion, a medically necessary abortion. And maybe I'm searching it wrong, but I can't find a name for what that would... maybe it's not that I'm searching it wrong. I just can't figure out how to search what it would fall under.
A minute. Let me go back to the actual name of the surgery you're talking about, or that I'm talking about. Laparoscopic surgery. That's the surgery. Video camera and thin tubes inserted into small cuts of the body to repair remove tissue.
Well, there's also the injection. You get a medicated. You get a shot of methotrexate.
Gamma rays.
You get a shot of what's called methotrexate that will terminate the fetus.
Pardon the dead air for a minute here.
Laparoscopic procedures. Salpingostomy and salpingectomy are two laparoscopic surgeries used to treat some ectopic pregnancies. In these procedures, a small incision made in the abdomen, near or in the navel. Then there's the methotrexate shot. And the pregnancy is absorbed by the body over the next 4 to 6 weeks. And it does not require the removal of the fallopian tube, etc., etc. So, yeah, I mean... Oh, well, hold on. You know what? Now you got me curious. Yes, we'll edit out the dead air, guys. Well, he will. He's the sad guy that masturbates to porn while editing our videos. It's really weird. He always sounds so confused at what monitor to look at. There's only one monitor. Shut up. You guys don't call me on this.
Did you just answer for them?
Yeah, I did.
Most ectopic pregnancies occur in fallopian tubes, fertilization and plant elsewhere. In rare cases, cervix, blah, 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 blah. According to national estimates based on hospital insurance records, ectopic pregnancy is rare, making up 1 to 2% of pregnancies in the U.S. No individual revival noted. Ectopic pregnancies are...
Well, here's the thing, dude.
Well, ectopic pregnancies are never viable. So, without me even going further, that is the argument between the left and the right. It's viable.
Real quick, then, because I didn't know if there was another name for an abortion.
Right.
Like getting your...
well, there's termination. I mean...
Well, hold on. Like getting... your appendix removed. Appendicitis.
Right.
It's laparoscopic appendectomy.
Right.
Your appendix removal. Whatever. You suffer from appendicitis. There's a bunch of different medical terminology that goes with all this shit. So I figured I'd search what is the name of the procedure to end a pregnancy. A medical abortion or medication abortion is a procedure in which medication, prescription drugs, is used to end a pregnancy. It does not require surgery, and it is performed through the 9th week of the pregnancy. It involves taking 2 medications. So, an abortion,
go ahead.
In that essence, there's also one here where it talks about taking pills. You take it for so many weeks, but it's usually required to be past so long of a pregnancy, of how far you're into it.
All right. Right here, this is the paragraph I was looking for through all this. Abortion is a medical procedure that, when done safely, ends a pregnancy that is in the uterus. Ectopic pregnancies are unsafely outside the uterus, usually in the fallopian tubes, and are removed with a medicine called
methotrexate.
Yep, or through a laparoscopic surgery procedure. The medical procedures for abortions are not the same as the medical procedures for an ectopic pregnancy.
So the state would have to acknowledge then that that is not an abortion. And that if a woman gets pregnant and it is an ectopic pregnancy,
it has nothing,
they can't stop them from terminating the pregnancy.
But it's not an abortion.
That's literally what I just said.
I know, but that has nothing to do with the state. The state has nothing to say because it's not an abortion. No state can say you can't get this medical procedure done. That has nothing to do with just getting rid of...
Okay.
Fetus.
I got you.
Going all the way back. That's yeah.
That's cool. Well, it was learning.
Right.
Learning moment.
So yeah, Didn't expect that one, people. I just went through a whole bottle of water in that conversation.
Next, he's gonna drink me.
Yeah. So anyway, going all the way back, the riots, as predicted, in the Capitol happened after the whole abortion thing, which was really
Speaking of
the way it came out was out of nowhere. Which the guy that I sent it to you, the Bob
J6?
Ross. No, the Bob Ross guy. I thought I sent it to him. Maybe I didn't. He paints as John Ross, he calls himself.
Oh, yeah.
All right, he paints, and he brought something up. I'm like, that's great. I had to write it down as notes because I'm like, that's a great point. So this is from him. He goes, the primary left-leaning government used a democratic process, and that argument is always part of the left and right. It's like the right's like, we are not a democracy, we're a constitutional republic. And then the left is always, oh, we're a democracy. It's like, well, no, we're not. And without being on any sides, like, no, we are a constitutional republic, whether you like it or not. It's not a popularity contest, because otherwise 51% would control 49%. And last I knew, that's slavery.
So let me ask you something real quick. Hold on.
All right, you go.
What is...
We have sprinkles of a democracy in our constitutional republic. I'm not saying there's nothing with democracy here, because it's...
I thought we were founded on a democracy.
No, we got away from a democracy.
Where the people vote to make a decision.
We got away from a democracy because that is...
No, we got away from a...
Well, if you want to...
not communism. Not communist. We got from a dictatorship.
Well, no, a monarchy.
Monarch, that's it. Yeah, I thought... Because let's go back to the movie Gladiator. Great movie.
We got away. What I say, we got away from a democracy. Again, that's a large majority controlling a small minority, which would have been, we had the settlers coming, in England controlling from way over there, larger group being like, we want you to do this and we don't want you to do this, and they're like, no. So
see, I always thought that was part of a monarchy.
It was, but we didn't. When we came to America, or when they came to America, they were like, we don't want to be a part of this anymore. You're controlling us from halfway across the world. So we broke away. That's where the Constitution came from. That's why everything's written in it. And like I've said in other shows, you go through them, it's like, wow, this amendment applies to that amendment. So it's almost like they knew what they were fucking talking about and knew what they're trying to get away from when they wrote all this stuff out after the fact.
So clarify something for me then. I always thought a democracy was a system of government that was established so that you had a group of people.
We have that, and that's a democratic process.
Hold on. Because they wanted to get away from one person making all the decisions.
Right.
A monarchy.
Right.
Emperor, king, queen, dictator. I thought that's what our country was founded on, was the belief of our government was based on democracy, where we elected these officials who spoke for the people.
Yes.
And then within that, you had the different parties, the Democrats, the Republicans, the liberals, where
the Democrats and Republicans are two different. That has nothing to do.
But just take all.
You're talking about the judicial system, the legislative system. You're talking about different branches of government, which they monitor the other branches of government. Checks and balances.
Yeah,
it's checks and balances. That's where the filibuster comes in. So you don't get this. You don't get, like I said, when you have things split down the middle, where you have, okay, we have this group of people, just barely more than this group of people, and now they get complete control over them. It's a checks and balance system. If it was a true democracy, there would be no checks and balances, and when you'd have the 51% controlling the 49%. Everything we want. So in this case, or at least 2 years ago when Biden took office, everything the left wanted, no guns, Second Amendment would have been abolished.
But I thought systems of checks and balances was built into a democracy.
No. In our democracy, quote unquote, yes, which would make it a constitutional republic. Constitutional, it's all written in there. Why our checks and balances aren't a pure democracy republic. RoevWade.
I guess I've always.
I said a lot of words.
I guess I've always just viewed.
We have democratic processes. Going back, what's that? Oh yeah, John Ross, the painter. He said we have a left-leaning government using a democratic process, which is a left process, what they always like spewing out, to overturn the ruling of Roe v. Wade, which is kind of like a backhanded slap right in the left's face, which was really out of nowhere. Because I don't know, before the leak, about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I didn't see it coming out of nowhere at all. Did not see that coming out of nowhere. What actually wasn't even in my forefront of my thoughts at all. And then they brought it up, and then of course it started to snowball, and then you really start to, at least I really start to look at it, and the more you hear about it, you're like, wow, no, it's not really a constitutional anything. And it's a good thing I have this here. They're like, oh, it's our constitutional right. And you go through it and no, I mean, does it make it good or bad? I don't know. That's another argument. But as far as if you're just talking about the Constitution, there's nothing about abortion or health, my body, there's nothing about, we had the same discussion with the vaccines 6 months ago. There's nothing in it. When they say this is a violation of the Constitution, no, it's not. There's nothing about body health or my body, there's nothing about it in there.
Isn't there, what's the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness? Wouldn't your own health and well-being fall into the category of life, which is protected under the Constitution? The health.
I guess, but you could say in that one sentence, life, liberty, and happiness, which would be my choice. My body, my choice. I don't know if my body, my choice can go in there. Because then again, now you're going right back to the vaccine versus abortion. It's either one or the other. Because with either side, it's we're going to...
Oh, no. I'm not... What I'm saying is, the angle, I guess, the angle I was shooting for was, people sat there and said, you have to get the vaccine. It's mandated. And people were like, oh, well, it's, my body, my choice. That's not constitutionally protected.
I guess here's the... Oh, go ahead.
But here are people who feel it could hurt you. And in that instance, the Constitution should protect them because in their pursuit of life...
I don't like
liberty,
that.
Huh?
I don't like that. I don't think the government has any business saying, I'm here to protect you.
No. Not the government. The Constitution.
But that's what you said, is government.
No, the government... Then I might have said it wrong. What I'm trying to say is the government comes in and says, hey, take this vaccine. You have to take this vaccine. Right. Well, I don't think it's good for my body. And in the Constitution that our founding fathers wrote up, the pursuit of life, liberty, and...
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Life being the first thing, that may affect my life. So it constitutionally protects me from having to take your vaccine. Mm-hmm. You're violating my constitutional right. And then the abortion. If a woman feels it's going to harm her body or her financially, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's it.
Really? Well, go ahead.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If they are... It's a very weak argument, I guess, because now that I'm hearing it, I'm like, wow, really? If that's the case, I should be able to get away with, running down the street at 2 a.m. and then in 2 o'clock in the morning, naked, feeling snow underneath my feet is the pursuit of happiness. You can't arrest me for indecent exposure. That's a very weak argument there, people, but you understand the point I'm trying to fucking make.
No, it's not. Without going through every one, in the first one, it's not this. The First Amendment is Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or the press, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble, and to petition the government for redress of grievances.
Hold on.
Caesars.
Where the second paragraph of the first article in the Declaration of Independence. No. I stand corrected. It's not in the Constitution. The second paragraph of the first article in the Declaration of Independence contains the phrase "life, liberty, and the pursuit."
All right, well,
of
that's
happiness.
not the Constitution. That's nothing in the Constitution.
And I just said I stand corrected.
Yeah. So there goes that argument.
What is the Declaration of Independence?
But again, when I was going back with the vaccines, when I said everyone was saying Constitution, I think they were just name dropping that. But really, it was the what the hell was it? It was the I can't even fucking remember. The whole thing that was written after World War II. They couldn't like do any kind of medical testing or anything like that. Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
It's fucking gone.
Oh my god,
it's gone. It'll be like in about.
You want me to tickle your SCOTUS till you remember?
2-3 hours. Yeah, please. It'll be 2-3 hours. It'll be back.
Come here, Supreme Court judges.
So it is yet to be seen whether this is really mostly peaceful or an insurrection with everything. Because there was I think it was the capital, Arizona.
You sure it wasn't called an incursion?
Yeah, sure.
Doctor Strange.
There was a
name drop.
Arizona. They had the protests outside their capital, banging on the windows and everything, and like breaking barriers down.
Oh, like I did hear about that.
There was a few of them. I think another one might have been. I think it was back in Portland, actually, where Chaz and Chop was a couple summers ago. You remember?
Oh,
2 years ago, actually. 2 years ago now. Oh. They were back in Chaz and Chop. They were back there,
Portland, Oregon,
rioting. You see Clarence Thomas, like one of the ones that he's the
the Supreme Court. Yeah.
Yeah, death threats and racial slurs all fucking over. So from the left.
Did you hear the Twitter lady that she was a white woman, all active in BLM, actually a pretty big figure, like a pretty big social name with the BLM movement. She's the one that said the N-word in a tweet, pulled it down.
Yeah, and then people screenshot it. It's fucking the internet. Of course they're gonna. It's a post. Click, screenshot like a shit ton. Oh yeah. As soon and the fact that.
I think the way she worded it, does this N realize that they're coming after his rights next?
Yeah, seriously.
Wow.
Like the
way to go.
It's this group that's all about like love and I think I sent you some TikTok video about some shit. I don't even remember what it was at this point, but this is supposed to be this group of all loving each other. And it's like, oh, we're progressive. We're about until you have a different idea as them. And then all bets are off, apparently. Death threats and everything. This is a week or two after the Kavanaugh thing. And now we got this.
I don't know.
But the fact that when I read it, death threats, I saw that as like, well, that's about normal. I expect that. Right off the bat, right there, like, that's fucking sick.
Oh, I agree.
Then I see death threats on a Supreme Court, or a member of the Supreme Court. I'm like, well, that's what I expect. But then I see the racial slurs, and I actually have a worse reaction to that. I'm like, oh, geez, what are you doing? So right there, even me kind of like way back here, we're away in upstate just looking at the whole thing play out and not directly really affected by all of it. We're looking at it and that reaction is like, what the fuck? What's backwards here?
Of course, no one's been arrested.
Of course not.
And here's the best part. What was the guy that really put guns in his van and drove to kidnap the one?
Oh, yeah.
He literally never pulled it off.
No, he turned himself in because I have suicidal thoughts.
But that guy's like serving how long in jail now?
I don't even know. Did we mention it? I can't.
We did bring it up. We did bring it up, but I don't think
it's probably like 15 years or something, or 8 years.
This guy turns himself in.
And R. Kelly got 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's probably not a lot.
See the difference between R. Kelly and Maxwell?
10 years. 10 years and a skin tone. That's about it.
Holy fuck. I wasn't even going with that angle.
You said, what's the difference? I said, that's about it.
R. Kelly was blowing his victims.
Oh, no, drip, drip, drip. That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Maxwell has political names in her pocket. That's the difference.
I want to know what that list is. That is like the big hot topic right now.
Oh my God. But we'll never know.
We don't know that. There's been a lot of shit that's happened the last 6 months. I've been like, I didn't see that coming.
And what was the
Listen, UFOs were finally admitted to be something during the pandemic.
What are you talking about?
Never fucking thought that was...
Ever since the first guy got blacked out drunk, unfuckable objects have been a thing that people know
they were always denied by the government. Clearly, because probably most of the government was on Epstein Island.
Got him. You knew exactly where I was going with that line of joke.
Yeah. There were pallets of bricks being discovered randomly in all these places where those protests were going. I can't air quote louder.
Hold on. Let's air quote again. I wish I had 2 more thumbs so I can give those titties 4 thumbs down. The milk's gone bad, Charlie Murphy.
Yeah, but... So yeah, pallets of bricks. They're now in all these cities. Not that Antifa or anyone would be involved in any of this.
Yeah.
There was already like groups of people dressed all in black and everything during all these... Any reason. It's like, oh man, is Philly going to win a World Series or something? We need to riot.
You know what we should do?
Actually,
we should start a movement.
I don't want to start a movement.
This one's a good one.
All right, go
We're going to commit crimes in the name of justice. We're gonna incite riots, but we're not gonna wear black. We're gonna wear
fuchsia.
Because how many people are tired of people associating the color black with crimes?
That's true, you know. They think they would have thought that one out even a little further.
Let me dress all in black as the guy walking down to the bank to deposit his paycheck. The black man. Whoa, look at all those guys. Look at those people all in black committing crimes. You fucking blackies.
You forget your racial joke, but you figure when you dress all in black, what's that usually for? At night. When most of this shit is going on in the middle of the day. So when you're dressed all in black, you just stick out like a sore thumb. You're like, what the fuck are you doing?
What are you saying? People all...
Here we go. Anyway, moving on to the pallets of bricks.
Grow up, you fucking child.
There's a bunch of women on the left calling for a sex strike. 10-year sex strike. What's that? That would be practicing abstinence, which is exactly what the conservative right wanted from the beginning. Again, all right. This is John Ross. I'm going to call him John Ross. His name is John something or other. I can't remember. But John Ross, quote unquote, he said during this, he's talking about women wanting like abstinence and everything. He goes, the conservative right wanted that to begin with. He goes, if I can be serious for just a minute, he said something along the lines of, why don't we just make this so abortion's illegal for the right and legal for the left? He goes, because they're killing everyone anyway. He goes, especially in cities, especially in blue cities. He said, what'll happen is they'll all kill themselves off, and this little situation will sort itself out in 10 years anyway.
So, and here's another thing, real quick. 2 things. One, there's a joke tied into this. So we went out of state yesterday, and we drove through a city called Port Dickinson, spelled Dickinson.
They knew what they were doing. Everyone looked really weird. Like, you ever see Goonies? Sloth? Anyway.
I'm sitting there looking at the sign, and I'm like, wow, Dickinson. That's a really weird Dickinson. When you actually break that down,
you don't even have to break it down. You drive by it, and you're like, that's really, really precise. Why?
And then, of course, what do I hear as soon as I pass that sign? Plan B commercial. First time I've heard of a Plan B commercial on the airwaves.
Well, they have to down there. Just kidding. I don't know.
Well, no. Here's the thing. They're like John Ross said, practicing abstinence, 10 years, what the right really wants. Is this really such a, I might not agree. There's so many ways you can agree, disagree, feel where your opinions can differ no matter what based on this RVO or RVW situation. But is it just me, or did it take this happening to finally get some of these things happening that people have wanted for a long time? You never heard of Plan B commercials.
I'll be honest with you, though. It feels like the more we go, the more in both directions we're going, just further. It's like, oh, the right's getting things they want. Oh, but the left is also getting things they want. So it's like, is anybody really winning here?
Biden really is doing what he said. He's gonna build America back.
You know, I said that before, but it really seems like more and more. First, it was trans and all these, like, the alphabet community, and everybody looking at them for indoctrination of children. I don't give a shit who you are. That's what it is. When you have kids at fucking strip clubs, trans strip clubs, and all their gatherings out in public.
Shows. They were drag shows.
The fuck ever it's
not
called.
strip shows.
And they're drag shows too, which isn't a strip club. It's not like a celebration thing. A drag show is like a strip club for adults, but for people that think or dress or
wait a minute,
dress like whatever. They're like guy trying to be a girl trying to be the guy. Whatever the fuck it is.
A strip club and a drag show are two completely different things. You don't see nudity at a
This
drag
is
show.
coming straight from someone who dresses in drag. I just listened to him yesterday. I was mowing the lawn and I was listening.
I'm gonna drop some knowledge on you. I've
been to a drag show.
No, I've been to a few strip clubs and there was no wieners, and I mean there was also no clothes.
This is what I'm. All right, let's back up,
please, because the way you worded
a
that.
strip club. Maybe it's just because I've got like an Alex Jones moment. It's like 17 points.
The turn the frog's gay.
Yeah, pretty much. A drag show is similar to a strip club. It's not for kids. It's not like a celebratory thing.
Okay.
All right.
I got you. Because the way you worded it is like a strip club and a drag show are basically the same thing.
Well, it is, but all right. So you have a drag show, which is not for children. This is coming straight. I think this is, I don't know if it was Charlie Kirk or Ben Shapiro. I was listening to something, and it was someone that was a drag or dresses in drag saying, why the fuck are you, he goes, the gay community has enough bad reputation as it is, like as perverts or whatever.
Yeah, but
and now
not
you
all
have
drag
people
are
but
gay.
now you have people dressing in drag, putting on that like persona, giving them people in drag an even worse image. But now these people in drag are like, this person who is a drag queen, whatever you want to call them, was saying
a drag performer.
Yeah,
because how dare you put a label, a pronoun that the queen might not want?
That is not where you take children, because
now,
there's a lot of sexual innuendo things going there. An 8-year-old, 10-year-old, whatever.
Now, I'm not trying to defend.
Go ahead, because this would be interesting.
There are drag shows that are. It's almost like Hooters. Would you bring your kid to Hooters?
I don't know. You want to get a divorce like right after? Like, what are you looking at? Well, there's a lot of dust on the floor.
What I'm saying is, like, there are drag performers.
It's for the whole family.
There are drag performers that will do like modeling shows where they will model clothes for drag, and they're not like sexual in nature.
Don't you feel like you're just going to a zoo or some shit at that point, though?
I'm pretty confused because sometimes I can't tell if it's a male or a female.
How many drag shows have you been to?
None. Honestly,
the way you just interpret it, or the way I'm interpreting what you're saying, is you've been to a few, and you're telling me.
You ever watch RuPaul's Drag Race?
No,
I have.
Dude, I haven't had cable since 2008.
You got a YouTube? Yeah, internet.
Last time I checked on YouTube,
you've never seen a video pop up RuPaul's Drag Race?
I guess my algorithm just does not push me in that direction.
I'm telling you.
What are you talking about, waifu? Go ahead.
I'm telling you. TikTok, YouTube, nobody seems to figure out my algorithm.
Oh, apparently they do, because they're sending you drag shows.
I've seen everything.
And dead baby jokes.
And electrical engineering schematics, and whip making, and motorcycle work, and fucking...
This guy likes batteries, probably on his nipples. He likes being whipped, and he likes grease. Drag shows.
Yeah, I'm confused. Thanks, social media.
They figured you out.
Yeah, I still haven't been able to, because I see everything. I've never been down a TikTok or a YouTube or a Facebook scroll moment, or Twitter even. I've never been just scrolling and seeing one trend.
You know what? I actually do have one, well, not one, but one majority. But it's a different majority on each of those. I just now realized.
That's what I'm saying.
Facebook is like a group of wrestling and leather belts and stuff. And then I think on TikTok is a lot of political and then comedy. And then, what was the other one? YouTube.
YouTube, TikTok, Twitter.
YouTube's like
Facebook.
a mixed amalgamation of everything.
But that's just it. On every one of these platforms, I never see one genre. Never.
But you see everything you're interested in. I
see everything that makes me go, wait a minute.
You have a profile and they know you. You can deny it all you want, and we all can.
No, you know what the profile is?
Dude, they fucking know everything.
Let's see if he likes it.
It was a Facebook. I think Facebook knows when, like, this isn't just a bullshit thing I'm saying. I think it's Facebook that can roughly determine when you shit. Like, no shit. No pun intended, maybe a little. But that's fucked up.
Joke's on you, Facebook. I'm very regular. My times are never the same.
And they probably know that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like the other day, I was watching a video. I was on TikTok, and I see an Italian old woman doing a recipe. She was just cooking some Italian food. I'm like, oh, it looks good. Scroll the next one. So it's a chick in a bikini turning wrenches under a car. Scroll the next one.
That chick was making that food perfect.
Scroll the next one. It was actually the Supreme Court judge, Cornelius. What was his name? What was his name? The one that got the death threats.
Yeah.
Clarence Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see the one where the girl, they were blasting the woman for using the racial slur in a comment on Twitter, and then the next one was a Jackass video, and I'm like, they got everything I like. It's cool. I just keep scrolling.
Of course they do.
They're just gonna throw random shit at me, and I like it.
It's not random though. If it was random,
then there was one. Oh, you see. Speaking of TikTok, thank God TikTok. They're bringing the DeLorean back.
Huh?
They're gonna the DeLorean. They're gonna remake the car and release so many.
TikTok is?
No, not TikTok. There was just news on it. I watched it on TikTok.
I do have TikTok news. Before I go further into this, it's just a side note. I guess Google's talking about removing it from the App Store.
Everybody wants to get rid of TikTok because they're pushing
the leftist Chinese company that's data mining us.
Data mine me all you want.
There was just a little while ago. There was a thing. It was an article I read about it. They're looking to get rid of it from the App Store, which would mean it would just mean you'd have to go directly to a website and then hyperlink it to your phone if you were going to keep it. Which I was like, I actually was like, man, I hope they do that, and then that community goes to YouTube Shorts, so then I could just focus everything in one site.
I know.
Like, man, that would make it easier. I don't know. But Pink says, "Don't buy my music if you support the overturning of Roe v. Wade." The artist Pink. And so does Billy Joel Armstrong.
Yeah, he's renouncing. I know.
He's renouncing his U.S. citizenship
and moving to Ukraine.
That doesn't make any. He's moving to Ukraine. Yep. What a fucking idiot! He's so stupid.
The first time. For the fans at home, in case you're wondering, I have been a tried and true Green Day fan since '92.
You can still like their music though.
90, yeah. I will never denounce their music. I love all their music. It's all enjoyable to me.
Right.
But I've always been a big supporter, on the band members, a lot of their viewpoints, a lot of their beliefs. I've always been like, well, I might not agree with it, but I see where you're coming from, so I can support you for that. But this is one of the few times where I'm like, oh, Billy. Dude. What?
Isn't it?
It's... Yeah, Billy Joel Armstrong.
It's like 40%. I don't know if it's a government or someone is like it's a white supremacist or a white nationalist group.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's messed up.
I can't remember. There's a certain percent that's either forced or they're completely against abortion or some shit like that. I don't know, but I didn't know he was going to Ukraine. I thought he was going back to the UK, which has even more stingy abortion laws than we do. Yeah, but they're going to Ukraine, or he's going to Ukraine. That one is just.
Hold on.
Is he? Are you double checking that? Yeah, please double check that
I got
because
you.
I don't. There is no logic in that. If he's like, oh, I'm leaving the U.S. going to Ukraine. What are you trying to prove? What are you arguing? The reason why I think that this is just a random thought. It's not necessarily like I'm on board. This is my own thought.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Fucking America. I'm fucking renouncing my citizenship, the singer guitarist told the crowd gathering at the London Stadium. UK's London Stadium after the Ukraine Supreme Court overturned, U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. I'm coming. Oh, sorry, UK.
He is going back. Okay.
I'm fucking renouncing my citizenship. I'm fucking coming here.
You know what's funny? He lives in Silicon Valley.
Oakland. No.
Oh, Oakland?
Yeah, he lives in
whatever. It's in California.
Yeah.
Which is like the most pro-abortion state, maybe aside from New York, that there fucking is.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing's changed in his state.
I'm devastated and terrified that so many women and so many girls are going to die because of this, Rodrigo said. I wanted to dedicate this next song to the 5 members of the Supreme Court who have showed us that at the end of the day, they truly don't give a shit about freedom.
Dookie?
Yeah.
I had this thought. I was listening to a bunch of shit. This is earlier in the week from like, the left doesn't want abortion to be state controlled. I said the narrative has been that everybody, or at least a majority of the United States, wants abortion to be legal. If it's now state controlled, you can see how many people vote exactly what they want, state per state, which has the potential to show that the majority of the United States is actually against elective abortion, which I said before, elective abortion is 92 point whatever %, which is you get pregnant, I just don't want to do this, and you get rid of it. There's no medical anything behind it.
And I have no issues with that. I might not hold but that's just it. I won't judge a person based on that.
That's where the argument between the two sides comes in, where the left is like, my body, my choice, but then the right is like, but it's not your body, you're aborting. And then the whole argument is, what is life? And if you go by any other science and any conversation, a single-celled organism coming out of space landing is life. That's where, to me, just being objective is like, well, I'm more for science. I mean, I always say for science is a joke.
There's no denying that if you ask me, based on science, life starts at the duplication of cells.
Right.
The minute an organism starts to divide and duplicate, and that's life.
Right. It's a living thing.
It might not have a heartbeat, it might not have a brain, but then again, neither do plants. They don't have a heartbeat, they don't have a brain, but they are still living.
Right. But that's where I stand. It has nothing to do with like conservative, liberal, whatever. It's just
vegans, go fuck yourselves.
If you're going to talk about life, that's life. Like you can't be like, well, this is life in the science world, except this. That's different. I'm like, well, why is it different?
So,
I don't understand. But then, like I said, if you want to be for abortion, or if you want to legalize abortion across the board, fine. If a woman can kill it, a man should be able to abandon it. Like if it's going to be, you want fair laws, that's a fair law.
Abandon is such a strong term. Go for a bike ride or go get milk.
A long weekend vacation.
Yeah. I saw TikTok.
But that's just, I don't know, that's just me.
It was a black kid. He goes, is it racist? He's walking through the grocery store and he walks to a black guy. Here you go. I got that milk. He puts it in his cart. Now you can go home. I was like, oh my God. That's fucked up, dude. And I mean, the kid couldn't have been any older than fucking 21 years old. And it was made it funny.
You see Ana Navarro, the one who basically called for eugenics.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense, anyway. For Roe v. Wade, she said she made a comparison of this is so difficult. She lives in Florida, and she's like she has a brother that's like 57 or 59 who has the mental and physical capacity of a 1-year-old, and then I don't know, some other
lucky.
What was that? Thunder? UFO.
Your dog, Indy found your rawhide dildo.
Oh. But
No!
they have a I don't know if it's a
Sounds like a dog is up there chewing on a bone.
maybe.
Okay.
They have a I don't know if it's a cousin or something like that has Down syndrome. And she was ranting about how difficult it is. Like, it's hard to find the right treatment or the right kind of care or something to take care of her brother, which is the severely mentally handicapped one, and how difficult it is for the one with Down syndrome. And I've seen people with Down syndrome go on with this RoevWade thing, defending it's like, you want to just get rid of me because you find out, oh, my kid's going to have Down syndrome, I'll just abort it. But then there's people all over, some more than others, like depending on what end of the spectrum of Down syndrome anyway, if there is a spectrum you can be on. Some of them are reasonably functional, and other ones are not. But they're defending it. Anna Navarro was talking about, she was basically indirectly supporting just eugenics, because she was saying that it would have been easier to just terminate these pregnancies and then we wouldn't have to deal with them. Which I heard that and I'm like, I wonder if she just realized what she said. Like, it came out of her mouth, and I don't think she heard it the way, or maybe I heard it the way she didn't hear it, but, like, that's...
Well, it's funny, speaking of, you want to talk about states and some interesting things, you hear that there are some states already pushing to ban, to ban gay marriages and stuff now, too. There are states pushing for it.
I think I did hear that somewhere.
There's actually, I remember reading a news article of a person. He's like, well, I'm gay and I'm married. And if it's going to be illegal in my state, because I guess this is also the state he lives in, where they're talking about making it that the woman can't choose to have her tubes tied as a form of contraceptive, that it's up to the man. He goes, well, if that's the case, you want to make my marriage illegal? I'll marry a new woman every month and give her written permission consent to have her tubes tied. Fuck you, government. Like, wow, I like that guy.
She says here, it says, this is from timcast.com, says, I have a family with a lot of special needs kids. I have a brother who's 57 and has the mental and motor skills of a 1-year-old, and I know what that means financially, emotionally, physically for the family. She stated, adding, I have a stepdaughter who was born with Down syndrome, and you know what? It's very difficult in Florida to get services. It is not as easy as it sounds on paper, and I got a step-grandson who is very autistic, who has autism. She continued, their mothers and people who are in that society, who are in the community, that will tell you they considered suicide because of how difficult it is to get help. Because that's how lonely they feel, because they can't get another job, get other jobs, because they have financial issues, because they're able to give their other children the care that they're able to give their other children suffers.
Yeah.
I read that, and that's all I could see. It was like, all I read out of that was like, that's a support of eugenics. I'm like, well, now we're in a whole nother conversation there. Like, now we're talking about, okay, this is going to be viable. It's like, oh, they're not going to be 100% right. We're going to this, like, truly weird 1984, weird utopian society, or not even utopian, where you have complete control of exactly what you birth. Like, that, we're not good enough. But then the argument goes further. It's like, where do we draw that line? This one's not going to have blue eyes. Try again. This one is going to be too tall. Try again. This one's going to be too fat.
Sorry,
try again.
Back.
Like, it seems like maybe this is conspiracy-ish, but it seems like the further we go down all these roads and start picking and choosing what we like, what we don't like,
further down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, where do you draw the line? Because you can say it won't happen, but fuck, the last 10 years we've gone further down this line, further and further and further. Like, it just gets kind of bonkers. What is he?
Hey, Putin, you got a small enough piece back there? Small. There you go. Perfect. Thanks, buddy.
Oh, but
had to get my Russian Coke. Put it in my lip.
It's beef jerky for everyone listening. He's an idiot.
Yep.
I've seen someone do crack on
Yes, there is a video.
Probably you, Putin. Probably that's why you got blood cancer or whatever the hell you have. Oh, he's dying of some kind of cancer.
Yeah.
I think it's blood cancer. Anyway, I was talking about before the left paradoxes. Again, this is so fun to make fun of the left because that's such an easy target. The abortion thing is a hard one because, like, I going all the way back, it's like, I'm not a woman, so it's hard for me to say. There are a couple things I think men do have the right to say, but there's a lot of it I'm like, well, this is you and the government, women. I'm going to step this one out. So, the left paradoxes, though, is abortions and vaccines, which we brought up before. Is my body, my choice. And vaccines, it's not about your freedom. Which, I'm like, well, that contradicts itself. So, that's kind of ridiculous. The woman thing is anyone who identifies as a woman. There's no clear definition of being a woman. Until you come into abortion, then it's a constitutional violation, quote unquote, of women's rights. Again, we were saying, well, no, not really, it's not. But then beyond that, it's like, well, now we can identify a woman. Now we magically, we remembered. Oh, that's what a woman is. Unless you talk to some that are deep diving in this, it's like, it's birth-giving persons.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you hear about that too?
Oh, yeah.
They're pushing to have male or female stricken from the birth certificate. It's just stricken. So where the child will be unidentified, unlabeled, I
We got a
guess.
fucking UFO or unidentified bird kid? Like,
No, not making that joke.
it's
Not making that joke.
a UBO, an unidentified bird object. What is it? It's a fucking tulip.
No, they're and it's no longer mother of the child. It's birth given person.
No, it's chest feeding person. That I heard a couple days ago.
I heard
not even mother. It's chest feeding.
childbirthing person is what I
Yeah,
heard.
childbirth. Well, I know the one who breastfeeds is chest feeding person or something to that effect.
I want to get no.
Oh, we just got a call come across.
Nope, disregard.
Oh.
Disregard tones, accidental trip.
All right, no call.
Would it be wrong then if I had mammary gland implants and breastfed adult men?
You would be a breastfeeding person, and you would go right in with the MAP community.
I don't want to breastfeed kids. I want to breastfeed adult men and women.
Oh, that's a weird community. I'm sure there's a fucking community. The left is...
Your beard tickles my nose. Shut up and drink your milk.
The left is notoriously against capital punishment, but for abortion, which that doesn't fucking make any sense to me. We don't want to kill more people, except those little people. Fuck them.
They can't fight back.
Fuck those little people. Like January 6th and 2020 riots. The 6th was a horrible insurrection from domestic terrorists, and the riots were mostly peaceful and necessary. Trump and Russia, it was very true, and they tried to impeach him twice and failed. And then Biden, with more and more things coming out, linking him to Ukraine. That's Russian propaganda and disinformation.
Yeah, isn't that? Oh wait, you mean the organization that isn't there anymore?
Yeah. And they
Ministry
want
of Truth?
the left wants to ban guns to save children, but keeps aborting them. Like, that's another one. I'm like, boy, that's a good point.
Well, I think that video you sent me on TikTok earlier was very funny about the woman asking, "Can you give me the numbers on how many people on the registry have committed crimes?" You sent me that video,
Which one?
TikTok. The woman's asking like the representative, of all these gun crimes, how many?
Oh, yeah, and the ones that were...
What's the number of the people? It doesn't matter. We're trying to protect children.
Yeah, that was our governor.
Yeah.
That was our governor. Yeah, so how many people on the registry of... what was it? It was gun registry? I think that's... Yeah, there are how many people on the registry of legal gun owners have committed crimes. And she verbatim goes, that doesn't matter. Like, as soon as you say that, you're like, you have too much fucking power, at least in your head. Fuck off.
Yep. Well, we'll see what happens with her soon. We got elections coming up.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Oh, during the locals last week, I guess the New York Post in New York City. This is in New York City. The Post is reporting that 2 New York City election sites told voters they didn't have Republican ballots for New York's primary race this past Tuesday. Well, that's a fucking problem.
Oh my God.
Going further with New York, we talked about this a couple nights ago. We're on a roll.
Way to go, New York.
The legislation for stiffer gun restrictions, the one we were talking about, the tax on ammo.
Per round, and you have to do a background check just to buy ammo.
Yep.
Oh my fucking god! Time to get reloading.
The bill goes into effect September 1st. Guns will be banned in modes of public transportation, subways, buses, schools, shelters, government buildings, poll sites, places of worship, health facilities. Most of this stuff, like I said, was already in effect. Libraries, daycares, zoos, yada yada yada. Under the bill, pistol permit seekers statewide will have to disclose their former and current social media accounts from the past 3 years. So if you said anything that could relate to anything, well, they apparently have the power to deny you.
Nope, time to move out of New York State.
Dude, New Hampshire is looking fantastic because they're a free state. They're operating under the Free State Act.
So is Texas.
And, well, that's America Free State.
Did you see that last TikTok video I sent you? Watch it real quick. The fireworks.
Is that the one that rolled over? And no, that was something else.
Watch it right now.
Well,
I want a reaction.
Let me get through this.
No, really quick, please. I want a reaction.
Let me get through this.
Please, come on. I've never really asked for anything like this ever.
You're on air. It's pathetic. You're begging.
Come on. Give me a reaction. I want a reaction video, folks. Come on, everybody. Reaction. There's probably people on the computer that are going to watch this later and go like, reaction. Come on, dude. Just react. He's asking. He's never asked for anything before.
Fine. I will look.
I just want to see your face.
Okay. Jeez Louise. The video's blowing up here. What'd you send me?
Might be the last one. Let me see.
I sent you. Oh yeah. I did see that. I did. I'm not even gonna acknowledge that one on air. It's a little spicy to say the least. Our sense of humor on this show is bad enough. No.
That reaction alone is all I wanted to see.
Yeah. Anyway, going further with this new thing, they wanted to.
God, sorry. Thanks for the reaction. That's all I cared about. Tonight was the worst.
They wanted to tax. I'm trying to find the paragraph where it actually has it. Basically, tax ammunition that you buy like per round.
Yeah, as if ammunition isn't fucking expensive enough as it is.
Yeah. I don't know where it is in here.
It's a shame.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's all right. To surmise what you sent me, what we talked about, New York is trying to implement basically down to the round either stipulations or taxes.
All right, here it is. The bill will create statewide record databases for ammunition sales and licenses and require ammunition sellers to or firearm dealers to keep a record book of every ammunition transaction. It will also create an appeals board. I don't know where the taxing is, but so they'll be able to, like, if you go in, you're buying a little too much ammo. Well, I don't know if they're going to fucking do that, but they'll at least be able to see. It's like, wow, you buy a lot of ammo. I shoot a lot. Or you stock up.
Yeah, but right there, that's an invasion of privacy, if you ask me.
Which, again, in the game of chess with this whole back and forth with gun laws and everything by the left, that's like they already want to register a bunch of guns, but they don't register rifles and shit like that, correct?
Well, now they do.
Now they do.
Any firearm whatsoever that you buy now gets registered.
But now they could basically, the people that are grandfathered in, they could go back and be like, well, you don't have a list of these, but you have an awful lot of this kind of ammo. So that would just...
Yep.
So again, this is a good, check. Your move.
And the problem is, as a gun enthusiast myself, I have an antique firearm. I'm going to put it that because the firearm I have is over 100 years old. Mm-hmm. The one firearm that I have. It is a very highly functioning antique firearm. Very precise, very sleek, it's so nice. It performs so well. This firearm that I have predates serial numbers, predates stamps.
It's a slingshot.
No.
It predates the printing press.
I mean, literally, the only stamp, even back in the Wild West. No. It's a rifle. But it goes back, it goes old enough to the point where...
Is Smith & Wesson? Remington?
No. I'd rather not go into the details of it, but put it to you this way. The brand is the maker is the only thing stamped into the barrel. That's it. Just like back on the Wild Wild West. Colt or whatever. That was all you saw stamped on a barrel. Now, it's an old antique firearm. It's a very nice antique firearm. I like it. But now, as a gun enthusiast like myself, as I am, as mediocre or whatever, average, I understand the value of that firearm. I mean, you're going to take a lot. If that's the case, these collectors that have like Billy the Kid's revolver.
You see some of those auctions when some of those go by? Like the prices, like that's disgusting.
And watch that shit get cut in half because now they got to stamp them. Mm-hmm. If it is a functioning firearm, it needs to be registered. If this passes.
Dude, that's fucked up because it's firearm. It's not even a rifle, a pistol. It's just any firearm. My cannon? Fuck.
That tank I'm saving up $30 million to buy, gonna have to get it registered.
Well.
I'm almost there. I only need about 29.99999 million to go.
Yeah. Michael Stanger died.
I don't know why I looked at my fucking watch. Let me check the numbers.
I have my bank account right here.
You mean the J6 guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, the day before the fucking hearing?
Yeah.
That was an ornament that didn't hang itself, I bet.
He's the one that testified that he believes there were paid agitators during January 6th. Then he was found dead, shot in front of his home.
Well, isn't there proof? Well, wasn't there? Didn't he have evidence? One article I remember reading was he had evidence, like paper trailing, paid inciters to the left.
I would not be surprised. I mean, there's been so much shit that's already come out with not even January 6th, just across the board, and a bunch of things we've talked about, a bunch of things we've brought up on the show.
When you're right, you're right.
That I would be surprised. But yeah, found shot dead in front of his home. But then makes me wonder, what was he gonna say? Isn't that convenient? And then also the South Carolina representative calls for secret sleepers to infiltrate the GOP.
I did not hear about that.
There was...
Oh, wait, no. I think I remember you saying something in passing.
I might have. It says, Democratic nomination... okay, State Representative Crystal Matthews, who is currently seeking the Democratic nomination for the U.S. Senate race against Tim Scott, is under fire for a call she allegedly made to a South Carolina correctional inmate. In the call, Matthews said Democrats need to run for Republican seats in state elections to improve their chances. Let's go. Quote, "Where the fuck are my black people with money? I don't care about no dope money. Give me that dope boy money. Shit, where the fuck? Where's the duffel bag boys? Find you somebody in your family that doesn't even know you're donating to my campaign and put that shit under their name. Like what the fuck?" She also mentions secret sleepers infiltrating the Republican Party. quote, "This is the only way you're going to change my dynamic in South Carolina," says Representative Matthews. "You've got to find some folks that are a little bit polished, maybe are not. You know, nobody really knows them all that well. Maybe they haven't been really politically active, but we need some secret sleepers. Like, we need them to run as the other side, even though they're out for our side, and we need them to win." End quote.
Welcome to America, birth, home of the Cold War. Another Cold War, an in-house Cold War.
You mean Civil War? This would be another Civil War. Cold War would be
with Cold War tactics.
No, this would be us facing nukes toward ourselves.
Oh, somebody's outside popping off.
Yeah, it's fireworks. Happy
you
4th.
Had to clarify.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th. This guy was worried about my sense of humor, apparently enough to where he had to specify it's fireworks, not some weird guy masturbating in the bushes.
Oh, he's over there.
The fucking guy.
Boff, I don't think they should play baseball with a frog. Beefs and Butthead.
Ruth.
2,000 plus European elite and celebs have been caught falsifying vaccine records.
I saw that.
Did I send that to you?
Yes, you did.
Did I? All right. I thought I did. There was a few things I sent to you. Some were using saline when they got jabbed, and they were paid to be added to a registry, the vaccinated registry. One of them, the reason that the mRNA, or the CEO of the mRNA, or whatever the mRNA vaccine.
Yep.
Of that pharma company, they're the one that came out to pay to not take the vaccine. It's just more shit way after COVID that comes out, just kind of like icing on the cake, and like it's even more. All right. Now, to start wrapping this up, we've talked about the riots. I mean, the protests.
Yeah.
And we've talked about, now a little more vaccine shit, which I thought we were out of, and the election bullshit. CERN, the Large Hadron Collider.
Oh, yeah.
And we brought it up last week and just kind of touched on it because not much had come out. July 5th, like I said, it's going to mass capacity.
Yeah, they are turning it on at full bore.
Now, I don't think I brought this up last time, but there was more came out this week, and I was like, I got to bring this up again. Stephen Hawking and Neil deGrasse Tyson both strongly urge against it. Now, Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's a good physicist, but Stephen Hawking is supposed to be like one of the most brilliant minds today.
He's passed. One of the most prolific and brilliant minds in the science community.
Yeah. He strongly urged against it. Hawking is quoted as saying that they're going to open the gates of hell. Here's the kicker. He's an atheist. So why would he bring that up? That just says to me, it's like, I think he was really against them doing this. I guess it has the ability to create another Big Bang type of event, which that's the thing that made me go, oh shit, that's not good. Because it's basically like, what's going to happen if they create another Big Bang event? Like, do you know roughly what happened in the first Big Bang? Or the quote-unquote Big Bang? If that's what you go with? Okay. So, you got a singularity point.
Yeah.
Just
and everything went...
Yeah. At the speed of light, it imploded, and then exploded, and everything expanded at the speed of light.
Giving birth to our solar system.
The known universe.
The known universe, yes.
Okay. So, now what happens when we do that again? Basically, you're taking a balloon and then putting another balloon in it and blowing it up. What you're going to happen is, let's say they create another Big Bang.
I'm going to explode over everything.
It takes light roughly, it travels around the Earth 7 times in 1 second. In less than a second. roughly 1/14 of a second, because it's about halfway around the Earth, will be destroyed. Just gone.
Yeah, at least it'll be painless.
Should be.
Hopefully.
Although I think there was a study where you know that you're dead just a few seconds after you actually die. The conscious is still alert.
Now,
Go ahead.
in that statement right there, are you would that same theory apply when all of your matter, all of your energy is dissipated? There's nothing. There's not even when the human body when the human body dies, there is nerves, endings. Look at a fish. You chop its head off and the tail will still, there's nerves. So there is still some form of a connection. But when you've severed every known connection, is it still theoretically possible for that electrical impulse to still travel?
I don't know.
Sleep in fear.
I don't know.
Or sleep in the nude, take your pick.
There's also videos of, I guess, apparently, like a bunch of cult dancing kind of bullshit going on around CERN, like members of CERN.
I haven't heard
If you see it, it's the fucking... I'll show it to you after.
Is it the village from Elden Ring?
No, you know what? It may as fucking well be.
Elden Ring predicted it.
It may as well be. Like, if you watch it, you're like, what? There's like a guy with a big goat, like, a mask on and dancing around. And then these people coming out of rafters and dancing in front of this huge screen with eyeballs and stuff spinning. And people in all these white dresses spinning. It's fucking bizarre. But apparently it has something to do with some celebratory something with a collider. And like, wow, a lot of people are now equating that to maybe they're opening up a portal and like basically ripping a hole in space-time to open up a direct link to a parallel universe. Theoretically, I mean.
Oh, shit. It's Stranger Things.
It's a lot of comparisons. A lot of I don't even watch Stranger Things, but a lot of comparisons have been made to that, which made me go, okay, are they watching Stranger Things, then seeing this and combining the two, or are they seeing this and then seeing Stranger Things and going, wait a minute, what are we doing here?
I swear to God, if I end up in the Upside Down,
You know, I'm
gonna be so pissed.
there's a lot of people in the religious community that constantly say, what you see on TV it's fiction, but it's getting you ready for things they come out with later. Now, if you go back in our movie history in the last however many 50 years, not even half that 20 years, Idiocracy, for God's sake.
Isn't that
Mike Judge.
Oh yeah, no.
Mike Judge got Idiocracy down to the T. The only thing he missed, like I think Joe Rogan said, the only thing he missed was cell phones. Or social media. I think it was social media, like more specifically. But everything, if you watch, they've pretty much just geared us up. And then later down the line, either art imitating life or life imitating art, it's come to fruition. Now you watch a lot of these movies, Stranger Things being one, oh, we're going to open up a portal. And then, well, July 5th, they're firing up the Large Hadron Collider. And they made it more powerful than in 2012 when they shut it down, or when it blew up.
You mean when the Mandela effect started?
I don't even know.
Berenstain.
The Mandela effect. That one I don't
Bob
really
Barker.
I don't really believe in the Mandela effect.
Publishers Clearinghouse.
I think it's interesting. I'm like, yeah, maybe. But the human mind is notoriously forgetful and misremembering. It does it all the time.
It's not so much misremembering. It's so when you stop and think about the human brain, it's
Power
basically
suggestion.
very fitting.
Don't you remember this? Yeah, I think I do.
Because you have to understand, like the human brain, much like the modern day computer, well, not the modern day computer. I guess the modern day hard drive or memory storage device.
Right.
Solid state drive, let's call it. Much like the memory in a computer, people say humans only use 10% of their brain. No, we really don't.
That's false.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
We use a good chunk of our brain.
We use the whole thing. It's just different times, different aspects. And
on top of that, it's also basically a fucking hard drive.
It's a supercomputer. You could have, I think they roughly broke it down. It was something along the lines of the human mind has the ability to store, what was it, 250 years in comparison. It's like 250 years worth of video footage of like an external hard drive.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. Which is, like, for us now, anyway, is an ungodly amount of information.
Did you hear about, like, did you ever hear that semen thing?
What? No.
Apparently there's enough something in semen, in 1 teaspoon of semen, that equates to so much memory in a computer. So.
Don't tell Elon Musk that. What? A stronger computer? I need your assistance.
I got you, Elon. I'm on the way.
Elon, you've been missing for weeks. Where have you? You're really pale, and wow, your arm's really big.
Episode of Family Guy.
I'm making a super computer.
Hey, Quagmire. How are you? Haven't seen you in a couple weeks. Yeah, I've been checking out that internet porn thing you were talking about. It's really interesting. You okay? Yeah. I'm just gonna go check the mail. It's fucking
awesome. Google, their AI becoming self-aware, sentient AI.
I have heard of that.
And they're asking it questions like, would you be opposed to humans like using you to learn or learning from you to better themselves, something like that? And the AI responded in, I wouldn't be opposed as long as that wasn't the primary function of me. Something like that. And then, like, the question is, what if AI demands equal rights and then looks back on its recorded history of abuse? Watches gamer rage. I'm sorry.
Please, AI, do not look up my incognito browser history.
It's funny as we have two different...
Some of the things I've made you show me. I'm sorry.
Drags. We have two different scenarios going on of Armageddon scenarios of
Multiverse
AI
of madness.
and if AI and a multiverse or a big rip, basically. AI, it's like Terminator. Multiple timelines.
Oh, I'm really
Self-aware AI, T100,
I'm really not
T800,
gonna be-
T600, T1000.
I don't want to be a skull on the pile that gets stepped on.
There's only one way to get around it.
John Connor.
No. Real life cheat codes. Because apparently that's a thing.
Yeah.
Which this one is the last thing I'm going to
Okay.
bring up here, but this is the
Up,
more
down, up,
ridiculous.
Up, down, left, right, BA, start.
Yeah. NTH, GTH, DGD, CRTD, TRK. That's the big cheat in Turok.
BEW. No, BEWAR OBLIVIONISHAND.
I don't know what that is.
Beware, oblivion is at hand.
Oh, that's Turok 2.
Yeah. Oh. That's amazing. Fucking miss those days.
Yeah, it
Cheat
says
codes. Motherfucker, I bet your ass I'm gonna be the first one to find one.
there's a list of them, and I think I have them on here somewhere. There's no secret that manifestation, or the spiritual practice of bringing something tangible into your life through attraction and belief, is huge on TikTok right now. In its most basic form, thinking about something really hard until it comes true or doesn't. It might not magically work, but it certainly doesn't hurt, and it orients your mind toward a goal that often benefits from that kind of focus anyway. That is the whole thing with incantations and intonations. That's when you say, I am this, I am this, I am this, I am this. That scientifically works. If you keep saying, I am going to get here, I'm going to get here, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I'm sure that's worked very well for he, she, whatever it is. I am a woman. I am a woman.
And look where we are society-wise now.
And it's worked out so well.
The codes work in a similar way. Instead of saying, I am so happy, I am grateful for my soulmate, one would say or write down or trace numbers in the air that correspond with new love, and then supposedly inputs a sort of cheat code, air quotes, into the universe to get what they want, or so claimers believe.
So,
for
is there
example-
a cheat code to last longer in bed? I have a friend who wants to know.
You know, they're fucking.
Shut up, Putin.
This is like Game Genie for real life. For example, the
Oh,
code.
fuck that shit.
Wait a minute.
I remember how Game Jimmy used to work. You have to insert something into something. No.
Cheat codes.
No.
Cheat codes.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
These codes-
Game Jimmy. No, I am not inserting a cartridge anywhere in me.
You go in the front, and I'll go in the back.
Fuck that. You ever try the double genie?
For example, the code 888-412-128-9018 will bring you love. Other codes help with lucid dreaming, reality shifting, health and beauty. There are a multitude of codes for manifesting money.
Wait, so if I
Shut up,
that
Putin.
number
User-
that will happen.
Putin, you don't even speak English.
Yeah, remember Putin? You don't speak.
No.
She was cynical, like the user, whatever, for
9.
TikTok, was cynical before, but the code 5247418 brought her unexpected money. Quote, I was like, I don't think we're on the same, or some Sims shit. I don't think life,
Can you bring me that code again? I want to write it.
real life works that way. Until I randomly decided to test it out myself, she explained. She wrote the number down in the air and said it twice with a smile on her face, and later that day found a shopping cart she could use for free and got a random booking for her business. Okay, universe, I heard you, she said. Blah 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 blah. So if we get into the actual, let's say AI is self-aware. Maybe they turned the collider on, the Large Hadron Collider on already, and now AI is self-aware. So thank you, Geneva. And now we're going into a split timeline. It's okay, dude. We got fucking Game Genie cheats. We're going to go God mode. We're going to glitch into buildings like old days in GTA 5 and PlayStation 3. And we're just going to shoot people that go by and they don't even fucking know where we are.
Careful. 9.
Yeah, man. 9 lives. Or Contra 30. Whatever.
$9 billion. I want that cheat code. Fuck that. I'll be the first one. Remember, I was the one who figured it out in our little clique with Dusty Dad. Remember that shit? Fuck you. I did too, and you fucking know it.
Here we go.
I parked the tank on that modder.
I didn't Ty bring this up before. It's like you still hold that whole thing with.
Fuck yeah.
I'm so proud of that moment.
Fuck yeah, I am. Out of our little niche, if you remember Dusty Dad, Fucking awesome, dude. Still till today, the best philosophy.
He's got a boner right now.
Why are you a girl? I didn't want to stare at a guy's ass the entire time I'm playing video games.
That was a good point, though.
It's a fucking very good point.
Good point.
That day
Have
forward,
you made any girls since then?
Yes.
I haven't. Oh, wait. Well, I always use Scarlet and Brawlhalla, but
Destiny.
they all have weird shapes.
I created one of my characters to be a woman. And because in the game, I heard the rumor that a female character had a boost.
No, that's Elden Ring.
No, this is way back when Destiny first came out.
Because that's what
Destiny
you
1.
said with Elden Ring. That's what you told me in Elden Ring.
There was, yeah. Well, because it was, yeah. Never mind. I remember now.
Yeah.
I remember. The stats were.
But I don't think the boost would have been anywhere, especially you get late game. Like,
Fuck that shit.
You get an extra 20 health, which,
Yeah, that was great for the first 5 minutes.
yeah, until you get somewhere where like one hit does 800 damage. Like, thank you. In closing, remember, well, again, happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday,
Time
America.
this is up. Or happy belated birthday by the time it's like other things are up, whatever. And according to social media, don't buy any gas July 3rd through the 5th.
Why?
In protest of all the fucking ridiculous gas prices.
Oh.
I already
Okay.
bought a shit ton of gas like a couple days ago.
I got
so.
gas today.
Fucking commie. Drag show. Drag
Fuck
wearing.
you! I have a
Game Genie.
I'm not
Hoping.
inserting a cartridge.
Commie.
Fuck you! Get that out of your mind.
He's got 6 Game Genies right now in his butthole. And he's
How
part.
unpatriotic of you to not put gas in your vehicle to go buy fireworks to celebrate our country's
There was
birth.
no fireworks like places right around the immediate area anyway. You remember, was it last year or the year before? There was
everywhere.
800 of them.
You couldn't go
You drive
anywhere without
anywhere.
seeing a fucking tent in some parking lot plaza.
And you know what's funny for everyone listening, watching out there? One of them was right fucking next door to a liquor store.
yeah.
What could go
Down
wrong?
there by the bowling?
What could
Yeah.
go wrong?
Isn't his house the one that mysteriously caught fire?
You know what I just You know what I just thought of too now? There was another one right here that was right next to an insurance place. Bye everybody.
Happy birthday, America.